Hey, who are you?
Hey, what's going on, folks? Long time no see. My name is Austin,
My name is Josiah.
and we are the
Super
Super
Cinema
Cinema Bros.
Bros. Bros. Aparos.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, you probably will never know this unless we tell it, but we've been doing a lot of tinkering in the last hour trying to figure out some sound issues. I think we have it all solved. The
Mm-hmm.
echo in my
Mm-hmm.
audio, I think, is gone. So I think we're in the clear.
Yep.
So we can just get this podcast started.
Just like our voices right
Um,
now. Completely clear.
I know. Very clear. So clear. It's amazing. Technology is a beautiful thing. How's your day going so far, Mr. Josiah?
It's going pretty good so far. It's been a chill day. Got a little sleep in the morning, then took care of the dog, woke up, went and see a movie. But that's not even what we were talking about right now. We're talking about that in our next segment. The movie I saw that we're talking about right now is one I saw Monday. But yeah, who cares about that? What's up with you, Austin? How's your day?
I'm doing all right. I actually went to work earlier, and so I had a little part-time thing, took care of that, and now I'm back. I saw the movie we're going to talk about next last night,
Sponsored by.
and then the night before. What? We got a sponsor? That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Don't tell Ruslan. Uh, Shout out to Ruslan. Just joking. You'll never see this, but just playing around. All right.
Go buy some Bless God
So,
materials.
yeah. Yeah, do that. You should
Buy
say that in your
buy
Christopher
buy a
Walken
buy a
voice.
bless. Oh yeah, Chris Walken voice. Uh, I think you should go and buy some Bless God materials.
Merchandise.
There's merchandise. There's a prayer book that I don't know is in stock anymore, but you can get a nice jacket and leather that he.
All right. All right, we're done. We're done. We're done.
Free
This
advertisement. You
podcast might
got
be
it, bro.
done.
You got it.
Oh my gosh. All right. All right. All right. All right.
If we get you one purchase, we will have done our job.
Sheesh. Okay, Josiah, what film are we reviewing in this episode?
Today we're talking about 80s smash hit The Fall Guy in 2024.
That's right. So, we will be covering and reviewing The Fall Guy. Let me give you a brief synopsis and then we'll get right into it.
Mm-hmm.
After leaving the business 1 year earlier, battle scarred stuntman Colt Severs springs back into
Severs.
action when the star of a big studio movie suddenly disappears. As the mystery surrounding the missing actor deepens, Colt soon finds himself ensnared in a sinister plot that pushes him to the edge of a fall more dangerous than any stunt.
Ba-da-da. Ba-da-da.
All right. Okay, so Josiah, what did you think about this movie?
I had fun during this movie. This movie was fun, but I had to be in the right mindset for this movie to be fun for me. I kept on fighting myself during the film to be in a different mindset naturally, but yeah, how much am I
Okay,
giving away? I had fun. I had some fun during this film. I'm just say that.
what mindset were you trying to get yourself into?
You know, they open up the movie opens up with a little segment with David Leitch and I almost said Ryan Reynolds, but Ryan Gosling, and they're like, this movie is a love letter to stunt community, And so if I stayed in that mindset, I feel like I was able to enjoy the movie more.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird message though, because it's like, well, I'm not sure if they said it in that opening thing where it's basically turn off your cell phone, stop, don't text,
They
and they're
did.
trying to make a joke out of that.
Yeah. Mhm.
Joke out of that.
Mhm. Yeah.
Um, but
It's getting weird, Ryan.
I
Wrap it
think,
up.
yeah, yeah. So I think somewhere in the movie, if I'm not mistaken, they, I think Ryan Reynolds' character Colt Severs says that if a stuntman does his job, he just kind of disappears or something to that effect. But this movie is all about highlighting stunt work.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
you're saying that you were fighting or straining to stay in that frame of mind. Is that what you're? Am I understanding you correctly?
Gosh. Oh my gosh. You're a genius. No, I think what's
Okay.
happened is they,
Okay.
they
Oh my
I,
god.
no,
All right.
I was struggling to stay in the mindset that they were saying a stunt guy's not to do is to call attention to his job. I was trying to stay in the mindset of like this being a love letter to that stunt community, so I was like continuously aware of like this is highlighting the stunts and the fun, you know, work that these people are doing.
Yeah. This movie reminds me of one of the Apple iPhone events where I think it was like the cinema camera or this new camera feature where I guess they track, it's like this kind of motion tracking feature or
Mm.
cinematic film feature where the guy's like, okay, I'll be right there. And he just like does a bunch of like obligatory parkour and he's just
Yeah,
flipping completely unnecessarily, but for the purpose.
sure.
And I felt like if they just made that into an entire movie, then you would have the Fall Guy.
Yeah.
Um,
Mhm.
and so, all right. So, did you feel that you were successfully able to stay in that like headspace or mindset throughout the whole movie?
Not successfully. I think the first third of the film or so, I was like struggling with staying in that mindset, and then for the rest of the movie, I think I was able to stay in that mindset pretty decently.
Okay. All right. So, all right. So let's get this out of the way. Let's talk about the good stuff in this movie.
Indeed.
It has some pretty good stunts.
Mm-hmm.
They are
Yeah.
obligatory. They're obvious. But if I have to give this movie any kind of like thumbs up, it was all about the stunts, and I guess they delivered. I mean, but did
I
they though? Like,
okay, man, it's so hard. It's so hard to stay positive in a positive section, right? Yes, look, they did. They did. They executed the stunts. The stunts were done more than competently. They were fun. I think I was curious to see the next set piece. And like the movie winds up having a bunch of excuses to get another stunt set piece. Um, small little tag onto that.
yeah,
There was never a oh man, the Dark Knight flipping a whole semi truck vertically moment. There was never just it's funny. I almost brought up examples of Godzilla -1, but most of that movie was CG anyway, so it's like it's
yeah,
almost not right for me to bring it up. Yeah, there wasn't one killer stunt that like took my breath away, and I think most of the scenes didn't have a crazy moment in it, which is so bizarre to say. It's so bizarre to say, but
yeah,
I mean, I was talking to a friend about Mad Max, man, and it's like that movie has so many moments that I'm like are jaw dropping stunt wise, and it just keeps upping itself over and over. I'm talking about Fury Road specifically. Yeah, so
yeah.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I'm like either it's like if you make a movie that's centered around stunt work, then either you have a movie with competently executed stunts or you just have another Jackass movie.
Hmm.
Like uh, all right. So,
I did actually appreciate the movie stunt wise more when I'd think about. Did you ever go to like Universal and see like the Waterworld show, or they've had shows like that down in SeaWorld and stuff as well, where they're
yeah, like
specifically,
Pirates of the Caribbean or
yeah, mm-hmm.
the was it the Wakanda breakdance battle? What was it? I don't remember.
Oh, I
Like
don't
we
remember.
were in the Marvel area. It was a bunch of
Yeah,
Wakanda women
yes.
doing some kind of march or something. I don't know.
That's
Yeah.
that. Yeah, they did have a little stunt show up top on yeah Avengers, the Avengers building there, but
Yeah.
specifically thinking about Waterworld at Universal, that show was a blast to watch, and it's because like it's yeah humans doing exciting stunts in real life. Maybe it's almost unfair to see the same quality of stunts done on a big screen because we're just so spoiled by special effects in like every area that if you're gonna do more in-camera stunts, it's not gonna live up to the same heights as like an artificially created, or or even better yet. I mean, this movie obviously didn't have the budget for it, but like every Mission Impossible movie has like one major insane stunt that's connected
Right.
to it. Yeah.
Or like a old school James Bond. There was like that one big
Yes.
stunt. You know what I mean?
Yes.
The
Yes.
one
Yeah.
big car roll or whatever it was.
Uh huh.
Yeah. I
Which is funny
mean,
because there is a car roll highlighted in this movie.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, all right. So that's pretty much the good stuff.
Actually, let me continue on for good stuff.
All right, go ahead, go ahead.
I I did like the performances from the people. Look, no point in this movie did I believe that these performances were like this. This was supposed to be a dramatic movie. There are a couple people that maybe not developed, depicted a slightly more dramatic performance. Like the lady, I forgot her name from Ted Lasso that played the manager. Like she was amazing.
Yeah, British lady. Yeah.
She was amazing as her character. Emily Blunt also I thought was extremely like Ryan Gosling. Like most of the people did their job, but if it's like between a really like in character dramatic performance and the other end that I felt in this movie was like friends like hanging it out making a movie like but not taking it too seriously. It's like tongue in cheek in some ways that they're just ad libbing every line of the movie almost. Like I feel like a few people got me to believe it as like believe in its fake world, and other people they just did fun performances, but I didn't believe in their fake character specifically.
Yeah, I think you're kinder than I am. This movie just felt so phoned in when it came to like the acting.
Hmm.
Like this whole movie is just so like painting by numbers. Check,
Hmm.
check, check. You
Hmm.
have conventionally attractive white male lead, Ryan Gosling. You have conventionally attractive white female lead, Emily Blunt. You have conventional black sidekick. I don't know the gentleman's name. Um, you have
That's
you have stunts. You have a you have a flimsy story. They were in love, I guess, but then he got hurt. But they don't even show you how he got hurt. They just show you the aftermath. And then he feels ashamed and like a failure. So then he disappears, and you're just like, I don't know.
they
It's
definitely could
like,
not have shown him actually getting hurt. Winston Duke, he's pretty dope. I liked him from yeah Black Panther and stuff. But man, if
wait,
we saw him hit the ground,
Winston Duke.
Winston Duke is the
Oh,
it's his friend. Uh, that was a lot of
oh
fun. That was
yeah.
fun. He was silly calling out movies while he was fighting those people in the middle of the movie, uh, which
Oh,
is
you talking about
also
the black sidekick?
yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so like this movie. It's not. So to take your phrase, or at least you're the first person I heard that said this, it does not commit the cardinal sin of being boring, but like just barely so.
Mm,
Like I
mm-hmm.
keep thinking about that line on the
Yeah,
graph in that movie in Forrest Gump.
yeah.
Forrest Gump is here's 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 the R word line, and Forrest is like right above here. This movie is right above here and like on the not boring scale.
I see.
Like, listen, I enjoyed the movie going experience, and the reason I'll tell you why. I was literally the only person in the theater watching this. I had the entire theater to myself on the
No
Thursday night.
way.
I was the only person
Oh,
in the theater
jeez.
watching it. It was amazing. And
Did
so
the
like that was
staff
kind of
walk up to
cool.
you? Is the are the audio levels okay for you, sir? Shall we adjust it?
No, 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 no. So I walked up. There was one movie theater employee. She was on her phone because she didn't expect anybody to come in there, right? So I mean, she's
Yeah,
on a break or whatever. She
yeah,
poked her head in one time. I totally saw her because like there's nothing else to see if I'm not looking at the screen.
yeah.
And yeah, so like that's a cool way to watch the movie, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's like you could buy a Apple Vision Pro,
Oh yeah.
or you could just go to the theater that I went to. I won't say which one it is, on a Thursday night when nobody's watching a movie, and enjoy an entire theater to yourself.
There you go.
So that added
Mm-hmm.
to the experience, but it didn't add to the movie. The movie was just
Okay.
so generic and so bland and so like just predictable.
Yes.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
I want, hey, so I'm inviting you to karaoke, so I'm trying to reconnect with you. Oh yeah, I'm totally gonna reconnect with you. And now everything has to conspire to keep him from
Uh-huh.
going to making it to karaoke. And then when he makes it, oh, she already left. No, no, no. Oh my gosh, I've seen this TV show, this movie, this whatever. Can we just get to the final act where they make
Yes.
out? Because they already showed us in the trailer and the big explosions in the background.
Yeah, yeah,
Can we
yeah.
just do this already?
Mm-hmm.
I know there's gonna be some more stunts,
Mm. I did
and I'm
like
straining.
their like
Yeah.
romance. It was never not gonna happen in my mind. Like it was never not gonna work
Well,
out for them. But I
of
thought
course it
the
was gonna
back and
happen.
forth. Yeah, I thought the back and forth that they had was fun. Like I started actually enjoying their romance when she was like filming him getting like knocked up against the rock and doing like a million takes, and I'm like, oh wow, okay, yeah, like everyone's just sitting here doing their job while they're actually going through this
Oh
awkward.
gosh.
I could see it being
That's oh,
completely too cringy for somebody, but I actually had fun during that scene.
okay. Okay, so this is where this is where we part. I'm watching this scene. I'm like, okay, he's getting close to like second degree burns and scalds doing this scene over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like this is like one of those scenes that only exists in a movie or in a TV show that would never happen in reality.
Yeah.
For a bajillion reasons. But
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
they're relitigating and rehashing what happened in the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And because it's so early in the movie, we can't get the full truth because that would just be too easy and that would just make too much sense. Um,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and this is just a dumb popcorn movie. But yeah, I was like, oh yeah, you like it might be too cringy for some. Translation, it was way too cringy for Austin. I'm just like, oh dear God, please, can we just move it along, move it along, move it along? And
Yeah.
I hate another thing I hate when movies do. It's like they're acting so like there's like, oh, they're showing clips of the movie that they're presumably making
Sure. Yeah. Mm-hmm. They did that.
or something. So like, okay, so then the special effects. See, this is when my brain goes like, okay, this doesn't make sense in real life in reality. Why are they
Mm.
showing me this in the movie?
Mm.
So
Mm-hmm.
that's a function of Austin and how my brain works.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
like for example, uh, my nephew was showing his girlfriend the first Fast and the Furious movie because she had never seen it, right?
Mm. She was not
So we're
born
watching
yet.
this. Yeah, yeah. My nephew's, he's a young adult, and
Yeah.
so you remember where the race, that first race, and they gave all the racers, the street racers, that GPS thing. Mind you, this was
I
made in like
totally.
19 like the year 2000, so we were still on Windows XP at that time.
Yeah.
Um, but yet he has like this high tech. like little onboard display that's like showing all these crazy graphics. I'm like, in my mind, it's like, well, what operating system is this little thing running on?
Yeah.
Because big computers can't do that. How is this little computer doing all that?
Yep.
The answer is because movie,
Yep. Exactly.
because there has to be a visual way of representing where he is in the race, the street race, and current reality and technology circa 2001 or whenever the movie came out
Yeah.
does not allow us to show you this in a way that's compelling and engaging.
No, it
So
didn't.
like when movies do that, it always bugs me because like why even like set that up if you have to if the only way you can solve it is through some like goofy MacGuffin, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
And
Mhm.
so this is like, oh, they're showing what the finished product looks like, even though it's not a finished product yet. Stuff like that just bugs me.
Yeah.
Yes, that's nitpicking. Yes, the movie has to have a narrative and it has to like show you somehow. I get it, but ugh.
Yeah, there
Um,
maybe there could have been a better way for them to do it more naturally, or from a point of view. Like if we was clear like whose point of view we were like seeing the movie through, then you can write it in that regard. Like if we were somehow like if I forgot, I don't remember what her character's name was, but if Emily Blunt's character was the main character, like we see her like watching her movie later on in the editing bay, like we could get it through moments more better connected
yeah,
to something like that.
right. So so another thing that this movie this is kind of like a cardinal sin for me
Mm-hmm.
when the trailer presents a version of the movie that would have been better than the movie that we got. Like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Um,
Get up out of here if you don't want to hear
the
these spoilers.
yeah, the actor that Colt Sievers is stunting for ends up killing another stuntman, and they're trying to
Mm-hmm.
cover it up, and they're trying to frame Colt Sievers
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
do a whole crime, do a whole bad thing.
Yep.
Um, but man, if it was like a if it was like a I don't know, I never saw Get Him to the Greek,
Oh yeah.
or
Same.
or if this was like Tropic Thunder, right? Where it's like
Sure.
they actually are trying to make a movie, and there's
Yeah.
actual peril, but they're trying to make a real movie, and at the end you get an actual movie in the world of Tropic Thunder.
Mm-hmm.
Like I thought they were going to do something like that, and it ended
Mm.
up not being that. So I mean, did he really get involved with some shady characters? Not really. It's just like they start chipping away at what could have been a cool idea and something to explore. And it's just like, oh, they're just trying to frame him, which is, it's not the most boring concept, but it's worse
Mm.
in my view than the movie that they kind of presented you with.
So
The most
because
glaring, yeah,
because the villains were essentially like his bodyguards, and him, it
yeah,
wasn't as interesting as like, yeah, it like, oh, there was an actual like organized crime syndicate that's a part of things.
yeah, and he like got in with the wrong. Like, if what they were showing you was actually the case, that would have been a much more interesting movie to me,
Mm,
anyway.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm.
so, um, other than
I
that,
can't
it's like
believe
when the
he was
movie,
just in his yacht right next door. Like he breaks into his place he's staying at,
oh,
and the guy
yeah,
is literally in the yacht right next to the same place.
yeah, the whole time, like, all right,
Mm-hmm.
so they went all the way in a circle just to go back to the exact same place,
Mm-hmm.
kind of by accident. Um, Beyond that is like when the movie is trying to be really smart and clever, and they're telling you what they're gonna do as they do it. Oh, I think I want to do a split screen, and then they do like, I'm like, oh gosh, can we? And then they, their movements mirror each other, and I'm like,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
this is this is so hacky, and it borders on pretentious
Mm-hmm.
in ways that are not like unironically pretentious, and it's not even that funny. It's not even that good.
Mm.
There were very few jokes that made me chuckle. Like it was just kind of like bland and flat, and I
Mm-hmm.
didn't. I'm straining to like describe what I didn't like, I just said a bunch of things that I didn't like, but it's almost like it's not even that I didn't like it. It's just like it was just kind of blah. It wasn't as bad as like as like sleep paralysis, where like you're just like you're watching something and you feel like you can't move. There are other movies like that, but it
That's
was
pretty
just
bad.
competent enough.
Yeah.
It wasn't that bad, but it was just competent enough that like I was like, all right, well, I mean, they told you what the movie was about, so you can't get mad when the
Yeah.
movie's doing the thing that the movie told you was going to be
Totally.
about.
Yeah.
But it's just like, all right, this is
I
just a
hear.
popcorn movie. This is just a silly popcorn movie, and I'm straining to like, there's just not that much to it.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know.
I feel you, man. I definitely feel you in all those categories. I think I came to understand that the movie was, yeah, like I said, once I was able to get my mind past, like, actually in the first third of the movie, looking for an actual, like, film and, like, story in the traditional sense. And I was able to accept that it was, like, just excuses to do set pieces. Then I wound up being able to enjoy the film. And look, I feel like most of the character dialogue that wasn't the romance was either ad lib or just like just in the moment. Let's ad lib. It felt like most of the stuff, most of the jokes and everything were them just trying to do stuff, just them doing a million takes and playing around. Most of it didn't land for me, but I recognized it. I was like, okay, they're having fun and they're trying to like make some jokes and improv and stuff like that. Didn't work for me, but I wasn't looking for amazing comedy in this film. I was in there for the stunt action, and I'm cheesy enough. I'm a softy enough at heart that I bought into their silly love story. This movie is almost 50% love story, 50% stunts. In actuality, like after it really comes down to it, but I wholly admit nothing original in any of those categories. But it's like I feel like the movie is continuously winking at me, being like, "But we're not trying that hard. This is just this is an excuse for a set piece." And it's super highlighted when he like sneaks into her room in her RV in the whole alien
Oh,
suit, and they have this
yeah.
fight. She's trying to murder this guy in a suit from her own movie, and I'm like, in real life she would not be just trying to murder somebody that's wearing like one of her own costumes. Like that's not how that would go down. But this was just an excuse for Emily Blunt to have a hand-to-hand combat moment. And so
In real life, Ryan Gosling would have horse kicked her, and her neck would have snapped on impact. Emily Blunt is a twig. Like, I mean,
mm,
shout out to Emily Blunt. But she is not like a woman of great stature. She is, average height. She's
sure.
she's slim.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah,
Which is a challenge to
like
be at that age in our day and age. So no shade to you for that. She was dope in The Edge of Tomorrow. I liked her in that movie, but she's got the whole
Edge of
like
Tomorrow
mech
is
suit.
a whole lot of fun. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I wish we were talking about Edge of Tomorrow. Um, uh, like yeah,
There's
yeah.
the story is almost for me. The story was like just barely better than it deserved to be for what the movie was trying to do. I told my wife, I was like, I don't think the story's good, but like the story is almost, the fact that it's coherent is already better than it ought to have been for them just trying to do a bunch of stunts.
See, I kind of disagree, and the only reason is because this is based on a television show, so they had some kind of source material. I feel
That I
like they could have
didn't
taken the
know
best of the
until the
source
end.
material.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, where they had the cameo of the guy that was in the movie in the TV show originally. I guess it was an ABC television sitcom or
Mm-hmm.
action show,
Mm-hmm.
primetime. And Oh, that ending part too, where like the guy, the actor, he gets blown up. I'm like, get Jason Momoa on the phone, his agent on the phone. I'm like, oh yeah, oh girl from Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Mm-hmm.
The dysfunctional, the
Daughter.
dysfunctional daughter. Yeah, she was in this for
Man,
like a hot second.
she was doing like nothing but like kicks in that movie. She was like stomping that guy like a billion times in the cabin of that
Yeah,
semi.
yeah, yeah. Um, I mean, here, here's the phone. Take this phone to get to the next part of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Ba-dum, ba-dum, bum. Oh, here's his dog. That'll come in handy. There's people always talk about the NPC, like
Yeah.
the non-playable character
Mm-hmm.
that just kind of gets you along in an RPG,
Yeah.
and that's essentially what she was.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
and then kick and fight this guy for this other stunt guy for a couple
Yeah.
quick cuts, and oh, make sure you hit that gas brake really hard. We got to get that last stunt. Yeah. Oh,
That's exactly
I
what it
don't
was
know,
trying to
man.
do. I recognized it. It's
All
like
I all I know is that I'm never going to watch this movie again.
fair enough, fair enough.
Like ever. Like I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. Um it's just above, it's just competent enough to be the thing that it said it was going to be, that it told you it was going to be, that it signaled even before the movie, with the whole Ryan Gosling and the director doing the whole text thing.
Yeah.
Like it's I think that's part of what bugs me about it. It's like it's just so
Mm.
on the nose.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's just so the thing it said it was going to be.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
It's almost like if they i- if they told you, "Hi, I'm Lawrence Fishburne. Hi, I'm Keanu Reeves. Welcome to the Matrix. This is a stunt extravaganza."
Mm-hmm.
Like that
Mm-hmm.
would color how you watch the movie. So every time you saw Trinity do that big jump or whatever, duh, uh, you know,
Yeah.
um, it would kind of spoil it for you. You know what I mean?
Mm. Yeah. So
And
I
yeah, that's just kind of like I'm like, ah,
this is exactly why I brought up Fury Road earlier, because I recognize them saying they wanted to celebrate the stunt community and stunt movies, which threw me off of thinking of this as a show at all to the end. I was like, oh wow, this is a show like that. Yeah, that would change my whole lens of the whole thing. I'd have to see the show and see what
yeah,
that's all about. But I think this is one way to make it an homage, make a love letter. I prefer the Mad Max Fury Road version of a love letter to practical effects, practical stunts and action and stuff like that. Where like, man, it's all in cam, it's all in sight. It's not hitting you over the head with it. They're telling a beautiful story, but if you want to boil the movie down to it, like it's a love letter to stunts and action and doing practical effects and just trying different fun new things and techniques to highlight it with long sequences. Like, man, I'm hearing, what was it, the upcoming Furiosa maybe has like a 15-minute sequence or something like that. Like, yeah, I prefer that way. If you're gonna want to do a love letter to something, to like do what they said to do, that the stunts should like keep you immersed. They shouldn't be pulled out of the movie by the stuntman or any of that stuff.
yeah. I kind of feel like here's the thing. To me, it's like it's like one part poor man's Tropic Thunder,
Mm,
and in a
mm-hmm.
weird, it's kind of like if you saw The Gray Man, which was a Netflix movie that also starred
Mm,
Ryan Gosling, where he also does a whole bunch of stunts. This was like a lesser version of that movie.
mm,
Um,
mm.
it's just like I don't know. There's another thing. Maybe this is just a personal thing with me. I'm a big fan of the movie Drive.
Mm.
William, is it Winding Refn. What's his first name?
I
Ah,
don't
I
remember
forget.
the name. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's kind of like an art house movie,
Mhm.
and Ryan Gosling, who plays the driver, we don't actually get his name in the movie. But he's the driver. He's just very stoic and very quiet, like kind of awkwardly so. But
Mm.
because he's like the conventionally good-looking, handsome guy, he can get away with being super awkward. And the girl that he's interested in is also kind of awkward, so it kind of works.
Mm.
And the movie's kind of awkward because it's one of those artsy, auteur film kind of things. Um,
Mhm.
and that works for me. But whenever I
Mm.
see Ryan Gosling trying to emote, every time I see him trying to like show human emotion of any kind of range, like I check out on some level. I just expect him to be awkward and quiet and cold. And if he does anything other than that, I'm like, I don't believe it on some level.
So,
That's just me.
let me ask. Did you like him as Ken?
No. Listen,
Okay,
listen.
that explains it
We
though. That's because
we
he's either doing the
yeah.
awkward, quiet, serious character, awkward, serious character, just but not saying a whole lot, like he did in Blade Runner as well, or now he's
Yeah.
doing Ken.
Yeah. So we still have to do our our Barbenheimer double review. That's coming. Stay tuned for that. But I mean, the fact that he was nominated for an Academy Award for playing Ken, I mean, that's a scandal and a travesty to the Academy. Like, what were they like? Yeah. I mean, like, do you even really want to win an Oscar anymore? Like, what does it mean if the
Mm,
dude that played
mm-hmm,
Ken gets an Oscar nod for that, right?
mm.
You know, people were like, "Well, how come he got an Oscar nod?"
I liked Ken, but I would not have given it an Oscar nod.
Okay, so yeah, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned for our Barbenheimer review. We got to get into all that.
Yep.
Um, but suffice it to say, like, just when I see Ryan Gosling, I'm just like, I need you cold and stoic and brooding. Like
mm,
existential dilemma, and like I need you at that level.
mm,
Anything beyond that, if he tries to be funny or cute or whatever, like the handsome leading man kind of thing, that whole shtick, I kind of check out. When he's trying to
mm.
play that like archetype, that kind of
Sure.
caricature of a person. And
Mm,
so, um, yeah, and just him seeing him and Emily Blunt together, it just feels so like generic.
mm.
It just seems so Kirkland signature to me. And so it's like when I say paint by numbers like that, I mean it. It's like get I mean, you could have filled him in with like whoever the big you know, people sexiest man alive, that could,
Sure.
who won it last time? Like, was it like Paul Rudd or something like that?
I don't even know.
Okay. But like anybody could have played that role. There was nothing about it that felt like it was tailor made for Ryan Gosling.
Mm.
Like, I mean, yeah. I mean, with Ken, I guess you can make that argument, but I don't know. Yeah,
So,
this movie, yeah.
yeah. Hmm. I mean, I'm trying to think of, yeah, Lee Majors that we saw at the end there. I'm pretty sure he was blonde. Yeah, so that must be he's a blonde white guy. That must be why this Colt Seavers is the blonde white guy at the very least.
Oh, sure. The original character was a white guy for sure, and I have no issue with them choosing a white guy to play Colt Seavers. That's not my issue at all. Um, I'm just saying it's just like this just feels so like so basic, and everything about it, like the plot, the acting, the set pieces. That would
Mm,
be a better name for the movie. Set pieces featuring Ryan Gosling. Like that would have been a better title for this movie, were it not based on an existing IP.
Yeah,
because that's
and
you're
tied
right.
to
It's
the
just a bunch of
plot
set
events.
pieces.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, and so uh, yeah, this movie is just. I came out of it, I was like, all right, whatever. Uh, we're
Mhm.
gonna talk about it, and so
Fair enough. Yes.
listen, if you're doing the dishes and you're not really paying attention to what's on the screen, you just want some background noise, I guess this movie will fit the bill. I guess. I mean,
Alright, so we're
it
in that
demands
section. Yeah.
and or requires nothing of you. Um,
That's true.
like
That's true.
I listen. Just is Judd Apatow busy right now? Like, just have him write some jokes or something. Some witty Judd Apatow dialogue. You know,
That
just
definitely would
something.
have improved the jokes in this movie. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's like just it was just so dry and everything was just so
I don't think
predictable.
they wanted it to be dry. I feel like they just it just wasn't as funny as they wanted it to be.
Like, yeah, just anything.
Mhm.
I don't even know what. Like, there had to have been like a really good like 3-part mini, like 2-part special. This Friday night, Colt Seavers is in a jam and he's got to get out of it. Tune in for the Fall Guy. Something. And they could have, like this could have been like, whatever the Killing Joke, whatever the version of the whatever episode is like the Killing Joke, but for Colt Seavers, right? And then like just make that and maybe kind of Michael Mann it up a little bit to where it's like a little more dark and brooding, just so like you're not waiting for a laugh that doesn't arrive.
Mhm.
I would almost like if they made it a little more serious. I might have liked it better. Um,
Mhm.
I mean, they made the decision to make it sillier. Okay, that's a decision they made it.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna be silly, like it's got to be really
Man.
funny,
Yeah.
and it just wasn't that funny. Oh, they're doing movie references. All right, that's cool. Um,
They could have
all
made
right.
this more movie more serious because if they did go in the more serious route, then we'd be even more critical, or the movie would be, but the movie's success or be carried more on the shoulder of its story, and that was not going to happen.
Yeah, like I'm not looking for a dark, gritty Nolan reboot per se, but maybe like just a bit more like Tarantino-esque, Like
Mhm.
Tarantino does humor pretty well, but it's always in the context of something that's a bit more serious. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Mhm.
I don't know. I mean, it's a silly popcorn movie, and I may be asking for too much of a silly popcorn movie. Maybe that's
So
my fault.
it could be. It could be. Look, this is like we said, based off a TV series. So the fact that it feels like it could be a TV special maybe is exactly what they were going for.
I guess. Ugh, yeah. Oh no, we got the recording. Oh no. Oh no, they stole it back and now it's on the helicopter. Now he's got to jump on the helicopter. How's he gonna escape the helicopter? Oh, he's just gonna jump and land on the big what do you call it? That he
UFO
landed on the
looking
big balloon.
thing. Oh, the
No,
big.
the big like
Oh,
the
yeah,
big like
the
the big
the.
the big inflatable mattress thing.
Yeah. Uh
Oh,
huh. Yeah.
let's get an aerial shot of that. I'm like, all right. Oh, it's not
Which
entrapment. You're
is
you're the one
not
that's
a
wired.
difficult. It's not an easy thing to do. I recognize that falling out of a helicopter and landing 100 feet down onto a blow up, piece. It's not something I'd be able to do. I'd probably break my neck, landing on that thing.
Th- this is true. I mean, who among us would not snap their neck in half if falling out of a helicopter untrained? Um,
If you put it that way, then I guess I
you
can't
know,
give them credit anymore.
right? So if the director and Ryan Gosling had done that whole little spiel thing as the credits were rolling, I think it would have given me a different feel for the movie. It's like, oh wow, it
Mm,
turns out this movie with a paper thin plot was actually an homage to stunt workers. Oh, that's kind of cool.
mm-hmm.
Um, in the same way that like, well, no, Gran Turismo was actually based on a real story, so that doesn't work. But like, I don't know. It's like,
They did play behind
I
the
mean, you bring
scenes in the
it.
credits, so that does double down on it being highlighting a stunt movie.
It does, and
Mm-hmm.
that I actually enjoyed that better than the movie itself. To be honest with you,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
just watching all the stunt workers doing stuff.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I, I can't recommend this movie. There's just not enough there. Unless you just love stunts and are willing to forego everything else in filmmaking. And it's not that everything is bad. There's nothing about the movie that's bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's just bland.
Hmm.
It's just like I would say vanilla, but like that's giving it too much flavor. It's just kind of like it's just a saltine cracker. Um with some cool stunts. And so yeah, that's
If
pretty
that's
much
what
the
you're
long and
looking
short of it
for,
for me.
yeah. If that's what you're looking for, it's a saltine
Yeah.
cracker with maybe you got like the last half piece of pepperoni that was left on the plate. So there's some bursts of flavor there for you, but
Right.
it's not a whole pepperoni. It's not a whole pepperoni with some some cheddar cheese slice as well.
Yeah. So watch it or don't. Yeah. Yeah, that's all I got. That's all I got. There's just not much there. That's it. You have two options. You can
It
watch the
is what
movie
it
or
is.
not watch the movie. Um,
He'll
all
stand by
right.
you for both of those options. He won't praise you for either of those options. He'll just
No,
acknowledge you watched the movie. You didn't watch the movie. All right, congratulations.
that's a thing that you did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
uh-huh.
All right.
Yeah.
Any closing things? Any closing things?
Closing
Any concluding
things.
thoughts? I'm good. My tank is empty on this movie. I got nothing else to say.
Hmm. Yeah. Hmm. I think we're good. I think we're
Riveting.
good. Yep.
All right. All right. All right. Well, for those of you who happen to be watching this live, we're gonna end this live stream, and then in just a few moments, we're gonna um, start another live stream because we saw another movie,
Oh my
and we will
gosh.
be covering that. And I think we probably have more to say about that movie, and so
Hmm.
stay tuned for
Mm-hmm.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if we're all done, then let's go ahead and wrap this up. My name is Austin.
My name is Josiah.
We have been the Super Cinema Bros. This has been our review of The Fall Guy. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell for all future notifications so you can stay up to date with us and all of our latest movie reviews. Um, I haven't talked to you about this a whole lot, Josiah, but I would like
Hmm.
to expand into like anime and uh, streaming series,
Yeah.
stuff on Netflix, stuff on Max,
Mm-hmm.
stuff on Hulu.
All right.
As our audience grows, we are happy to look at different types of requests that people would be interested in having us watch and give our
Hmm.
commentary on. At some point, um, we would love to do like just a commentary track on different movies, and so we could probably figure out a way to commission that. Um, but yeah, we're just looking at different different ways of providing color commentary on films, televisions, animation, and so forth. So as we grow, we'll kind of cross those bridges when we get there.
Indeed.
But until then, we're gonna end this podcast, this live stream, and we're gonna jump right into another one. So thank you all for your patronage, for your viewing, your viewership, I should say. God
Mhm.
bless you. And until next time, we are out.
God bless you guys. See ya.